So grab your rig, grab your crew, there's always something cool and new. No matter.
All right, I'm a little slow tonight. You're watching Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, shortwave, electronics. You name it, we can talk about it here. I want to welcome you to the show. If you're out there listening on WBCQ Radio on 7490, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email to tom@w5kub and let us know where you are in the world and how you're hearing the station tonight. We're not a high-powered shortwave station, but I think we're running the shows somewhere around 50,000 watts. So, you know, I've received some mail from England and places like that have tuned in to listen. But I'd love to hear from you. If you're watching the show, you know we have moved to Wednesday nights. We're changing our format up a little bit. We've moved to Wednesday nights now. Same time, 8 o'clock Wednesday night. So we should fall, every other week, we should fall in between Ham Nation. So you got Ham Nation one week, you got Roundtable the next, Ham Nation, Roundtable. It should go like that, you know. Please hit the like button or hey, hit the subscribe button. We really need you to hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out a whole lot. Also, if you will, we've got a great Facebook group. We've got about 15,000 hams and shortwave listeners in our Facebook group. Search for it and join that Facebook group. It's called, just search for W5KUB, and we'll get you in the group there. You notice Glenn's not with us tonight. When we made our change, we've been thinking about this for over a year. We made our change to Wednesday. Glenn says he can't make it. He's got other obligations, but so we're leaving it open for Glenn. When he does have, you know, time, he can join us. Or we've also made the offer that he can record any segment, and we'll be glad to run that segment on the show that night. He doesn't even have to be here to be on the show. So let's see. We're on just about every podcast carrier out there, like iHeart, iTunes, Google Play, all those. And let's see, we're on shortwave. We're on W5KUB. Oh, and tonight we're streaming on YouTube, Facebook group, X.com, and also Twitch TV. So we're in a lot of places all the time. Okay, so hey, just wanted to let you guys know I've been talking to SWR Magazine, and they're going to be running every month. They're going to be running an advertisement for us in their magazine. SWR Magazine is going to be promoting us, so we're going to give them a little plug too every month, and that would be SWR Magazine. That is a good quality, free ham radio magazine. All right, hey, tonight, man, I got a lot of stuff to talk to you about tonight, and Brett's going to help us there. We're both going to jump in here. Let me say this. I don't know if I'm going to get hyper or slow down tonight. I just drunk about a half a bottle of codeine. I've had a terrible cough the last 2 days. So bad, my ribs are hurting when I cough. So, half a bottle of codeine. So, all I can say is, yippee! Okay, now, all right. So we're gonna have a lot of things tonight to talk about. Let's see. Hey, I got a new VNA. I want to show you a new VNA. I couldn't make the old one work. I guess when you get old, you can't. Plus, I'll tell you more about it later. We're going to talk about some antennas tonight. And I thought I would pick my antennas to talk about. And I'm going to count on Brett to jump in and talk about my antennas and everything. Hambot is here tonight. Hambot. Where are you, Hambot? Let's see, where is Hambot? Hambot. Yeah, okay, settle down. Hambot's with us tonight, and he hadn't given a prize out in a long time, so he's a little rusty tonight. We may have some problems with him, But I did get the oil can out. One of his legs wasn't bending good, so he's working okay now. So Hambot's going to give a prize away tonight. We're going to give out a Grundig shortwave radio from Grundig type to some viewer. And let me tell you right now, if you want to be eligible for the shortwave radio, you're going to have to get in the W5KUB chat room. Coming up, Chatbot gives away a Grundig shortwave receiver. You must be in the W5KUB.com chat room to be eligible. So if you'll go to W5KUB.com, that'll take you to our video page, and you'll see on the right side the chat room. Just put your name or call letters there and hit join, and you'll be in the chat room. And I'll explain more how Hambot works and how you can win the prize in a little while. Okay. So where was I? Let's see. Okay. Going to give away the radio tonight. We're going to talk about, I got a new VNA. I want to talk a little about it. My other VNA was so complicated, I never really learned to use it. I couldn't get past step 3 with it. I'll talk more about that later. So tonight we're going to talk about antennas too, and show you some that I picked to use and how well they work for me, and why I picked those. So let's jump over. Hey Brett, what's going on up in your world? Over.
I went to the new, and they
well, let me see here if we can do something. You're freezing. Let me see if I can do something. I'm gonna turn Twitch off. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna turn Twitch off. See if that helps any. All right.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, you sound good now.
Okay. Well, I went to the New Mexico Tex Fest. I didn't drive to New Mexico. I went virtually, and they had a very nice symposium there, a full room listening to it live, and then a whole bunch of people on Zoom. It gave out a lot of prizes, and it was just generally a great symposium, great way to spend the day. So I learned quite a few things about ham radio topics there, and also learned about some projects that are going on, such as the very large dish that they're using, the radio telescope dish that's also used for some ham activities out in New Mexico. And then I got into some electronics. An oven failed. The heating element on the bottom of the oven not only broke in two, but also shorted out to the chassis of the oven. And the result was that didn't just blow the element. It would have been easy if all I had to replace was that. But I put a new element in, and the oven didn't work. So I had to do more diagnosis. And what I discovered was that the oven and the boiler were not getting voltage. So I went inside the stove, and let's see if I can get this in the frame here, and I found this. This is the controller electronics that are inside a self-cleaning oven. And what I discovered was that this relay right here wasn't turning on. We weren't getting power out of this relay. And I looked around, I shopped around for a new relay. I was having trouble finding one. So I had to get the stove working quick, I had to go ahead and get a new board. They don't sell them new on on any site that I could find, and so I went to eBay and I found a used one. And then I installed that, swapped all the wires around, and fortunately that fixed it. There wasn't anything else wrong with the stove, so I was able to get that going. I am now going to repair this board if I can find the right relay, so that I'll have a spare if something else happens. But that was my electronic diagnosis and adventure for the week.
Well, I would say this to you: if the enemy is attacking, use any relay you've got. It don't have to be the one that fits in the board there. And I've got a whole big old box of relays here.
Yeah, maybe I could find one that kind of fits. It just had to be able to handle 20 amps of current because it's an oven. So 20 amps of current at 240 volts is enough to eat the whole thing up.
Yeah, yeah. Looking at that board, I remember now. I replaced one I think exactly just like it 3 or 4 years ago, and I had to get mine off eBay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, appliances, it's really hard to get new parts for them. They drop the parts almost right away when they stop making them, when they stop making ovens with them or other appliances.
Yeah.
And, eBay is just a godsend for that. It really helps you. And so other than that, I've been just continuing with some of the experiments I've talked about before. The local ham radio club met last night, and they are going to be working on doing a kids summer camp, sort of like Yoda, but the difference between it and Yoda is that Yoda is for youth who already have their ham licenses. This is actually going to be training for kids to get their ham licenses, and so we're essentially going to do a summer camp, which is a licensing course. And I'm probably going to be the person who does the instruction with regard to digital modes. So I'll have a lot of fun with that, teaching them how to use everything from RTTY to FT4 to FT8 to Olivia, maybe whatever might be instructive, so they understand digital communications. And that I think is going to be a blast.
Yeah, I was thinking. I took my ham test over 60 years ago. If I had to take the test today, I'd probably flunk it. I'd have to study. I know it's got a lot of digital stuff in it. We didn't have that stuff when I got my license. And we didn't even have transistors. Man, we had tubes.
Mm. Oh. Uphill both ways.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Uphill both ways and a foot of snow.
Yep. And, I did at one time, although I dropped it, I did at one time hold a novice ticket and had to deal with, buying crystals with my allowance in grade school.
Yeah. Well.
But, those were the days. I eventually, when it got time to decide what I would do next, and, I had to go ahead and move to the next level, I couldn't afford a fancy rig at that time. So I put ham radio aside for a few years and came back to it later.
Yeah.
And when I came back, there was no code test.
I'm going to pick up something right back.
So it was much easier to get relicensed. And, I've been doing everything, including CW, to this day. I'm not very good at CW, but I do try to do everything. And digital modes are really fun and exciting. I'm hoping that there are more digital modes coming that allow you to have more conversations than you can on FT8, where you basically say hello and goodbye and thank you for the QSO.
Yeah. Talking about licensing and stuff, I want to show you. Here's the study guide for it was actually the first class license the FCC gave out. This is the study guide for it. And it's quite a bit of stuff in here. But
vacuum tubes.
It's what?
I see vacuum tubes. Well, I see schematics with vacuum tubes.
Yeah. So this is basically the study guide for what was then called the first class license. They changed the name later to radio telephone license. But this is I saw something there that was kind of neat. Let me look at this. Oh, that's a lot of math in here. Let's see. Yeah, there were a lot of questions here. They did give you questions and answers, but they gave you like a million, man. So anyway, that was an interesting license to go for, and wasn't too bad at all. I think I got it just a few years after the ham license. But what I'm saying is, I probably couldn't pass any of these tests today. Everything has changed. Those books are obsolete now, and I guess I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah. When I renewed my license, I've been doing radio, but not ham radio. I've been working as a wireless internet provider, and so I walked in and surprised myself. I got not only the tech exam, but got the general. But there was no way I was going to do extra without studying, because the test has too much ham specific stuff, too much about the rules, too much trivia, and so I had to study for that one. But I used Michael Burnett's series of fast track tapes to review the questions. I recommend that series, the Fast Track to Ham Radio Licensing. And then I walked in and made extra.
Yeah, and at one point, back when I started, the general class, the general class had full band, and then they came out with what they called incentive licensing. I think that was in the 70s, where they added that extra in and the advanced in, and they chopped the bands up where, you didn't have but half the band if you were a general and so forth. So that's what got me to, move on to get my advanced or extra class license. Jim in the chat room, N5FKW. I wasn't sure I could read that right. He's in the chat room, and he said that was the same book he used. I had 2 or 3 books just about like that. One was a little bit larger, but of course they all had just about the same information in them there. And Jim, if I'm not mistaken, I thought you said you wouldn't be able to make it on Wednesday nights. Maybe I got the wrong person. So we'll see. All right. So we're going to give away. Hambot's going to give away a Grundig shortwave radio tonight, in a little while, and Hambot is here with us tonight. Let's see. Yeah, he's with us tonight. The problem we've got with Hambot, he was internally designed by our own people, and he evolved over probably 10 years. And let me see if I can show you Hambot.
A robot evolved.
Yeah, let's see if I can show you Hambot. There we go. So there's Hambot. So if you can see Hambot right there. But it's quite a program. It does a lot of things for us. And it actually reduces our work. What used to take about 2 or 3 people to keep up with everything, Hambot does it all. He checks you in QRZ. He pulls your address and mailing information up, and we can put restriction on certain prizes. For instance, if the vendor said make this prize U.S. only, we could tell Hambot make this prize U.S. only, and he would only pick a U.S. ham. So Hambot just does a lot of things, man, a lot of things. So he's got the timer. He counts down. I used to watch my watch and just pick a name, but people would argue with me. The chat room has a delay. They'd argue with me and saying, hey, I got the prize. And I say, no, you didn't. So Hambot, we built Hambot and said you can't argue with Hambot. So he helped us out a whole lot there. And there's been a lot of people that wonder if they can have a copy or whatever Hambot, but that was in development so long and so many improvements. We just decided not to, farm it out to a lot of different people. So, I don't know. Now that we're on X and we're on Twitch and different things like that, we've got a little problem with Hambot. He doesn't see everybody. And, we've been looking for solutions, but there's just not really any good solution out there. So we're going to just take what we've got here. And if we start getting big in numbers like on X, we may have to tell Hambot, just go sit down in the corner over there, and we will, pick a winner a different way.
Yes, there are some.
Yeah, in fact, I could even visually pick a winner, and put that name in Hambot, and he would run. And he would he would only put it on the IRC room. He wouldn't be putting it on X. So we got a little problem with it, but we'll get around it, guys.
Yep, there are some YouTubers who pre-register people through a website, and then and then they're able to draw the number in real time. But all they have to do is display a number.
Yeah, right. All right, guys. I ordered a Starlink to evaluate, just see how it worked. The Starlink's got a special deal right now. It used to be so expensive, I didn't even want to touch it. But Starlink's got a deal right now where the equipment is free. And you pay $50 a month for 100 megabit. If you need more, I think $80 a month or something, you can get 200 megabit, and for a little over 100 you can get unlimited. But anyway, the equipment's free, and it's a $50. I took the $50 plan. Now,
Elon is losing money on that.
What was that?
Elon is losing lots of money on that.
Well, he may be, but I guess
low cost to
that
get
maybe that's to our advantage right now. You can even put the from the app. You can even put your Starlink on standby, and when you put your Starlink on standby, the cost goes down to $5 per month. Now, look at this. If you'll do a search on YouTube, you'll see a lot of people showing you how well the $5 a month plan is working. They are watching YouTube videos. They're doing FaceTime. Of course, they're doing texting. They're doing email. But the interesting thing is they're watching videos off YouTube. And that's $5 a month. Now, they turned it, they cap it real low. It's 500K up, 500K down. But they're watching YouTube with it, and it's working fine. So check that out. So anyway, all we have over at our home in North Carolina is DSL, which is pretty bad. And I'm considering taking this over there and just seeing how it works over there. I thought I was getting the mini. They've got a mini, but you have to buy it. The mini dish is about the size of a sheet of paper. That's the whole thing. And it weighs about 2 pounds. The one they sent me is the Generation 3. It's a little bit larger dish. It's about 4 times the size of this paper. But it can run a lot higher speeds and so forth. It has a lot more it can do. So I thought tonight I'm going to talk about this. Hey, and if anybody decides they want Starlink, and we're not promoting Starlink, but I want to help you. If anybody wants to order one and try it, get with me and let me give you a promotion code or something, and that way you'll get a free month, and I might even get a free month. I don't know. But anyway, I've got a little video I put together showing you how simple what you get and how simple it is to set it up. We're going to talk a little about that. And then we're going to get into other things tonight, like a new VNA I got and some antennas. So let's run this video here and see what you think. Hey, look what came in through FedEx today. We got our Starlink. We're going to evaluate and see how it works. I got a lot of obstructions around the house, but hopefully we can make it work okay. This box is built like it is plywood and it's cardboard. I never got it edges open, but I haven't taken anything out of the box yet. So let's see what's in here. It is heavy too. I thought I was getting the mini. The mini only weighs about 2 pounds. This one weighs about 8 pounds. But obviously I made a mistake on the order. This one's supposed to be better. It's supposed to receive higher bit rate, but it's not quite as portable as the mini. So let's look at it. Here's the stand, and here's the dish. So, basically, you just set it like that. You set it on the ground, set it on your deck, and you got a little app that shows you where to aim it. So that's the dish. You can buy various. They got all kinds of accessories that go with this that don't come with it. You can buy an accessory where you can mount this on a pole or a pipe or the side of the house or all kinds of places, or just set it on the ground. So let's look at what's in the box here. Real simple setup. Hey, there's instructions. That's all you get with it. No manual, but basically it shows you where to put the cable. The cable and the router is included in the power supply, and that's it. These 3 parts here. You plug the power supply into the router, which can go in the house. And this is a, what do you call it, version 6 router, whatever that means. And then you plug this into the dish outside, and it's basically power over Ethernet is what it is. So that's what. So, Brett, do you know what a version 6 is in Wi-Fi?
I'm going to assume that they're using what's called Wi-Fi 6.
Yeah.
Which is 802.11x.
Ah, okay.
Sorry,
right.
802.11ax.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that is sometimes faster than regular Wi-Fi. Most of the time, you won't notice a difference between it and, say, 802.11ac, which is what most people have.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That's what it is. There's a QR code where you can download the app. And this thing will see 110 degrees out there. So if you've got satellites within 110 degree angle, it is electronically steered. Some of the early ones had actuators in them that actually move the dish. This dish will be fixed, and electronically it steers the signal to the satellites electronically through that 110 degrees. So let's look and see what we got in here. This is the router that goes in the house. This is your Wi-Fi router right here. Real simple. Power in and one cable that goes up to the dish. That's it. Inside here there are a couple Ethernet jacks that you can plug into. You can plug your equipment into, or you can plug your own router into this and have a third-party router. It looks kind of funny, doesn't it? But that's the router that would go in the house. And then here's the power supply. I don't know. Let's see. I think it's probably about a 70 or 80 watt power supply, and output 57 volts. Yeah, 57 volts at 3.4 amps. So that's a little bit heavier than what I guessed. Three something amps times 50 something. That's about 180 watt power supply. So this is the power supply. We've got a power cord for the power supply.
Get warm.
And we've got basically the Ethernet that will run from the router in the house out to the dish. And here it is right here. Seems a little heavy. It feels like good heavy cable. But you can see the connectors on the end, Ethernet style connectors. Everything's waterproof. These will actually plug in and make a waterproof seal. So that's it. That's all you get. About 3 parts. And it's supposed to be real simple to set up. We're going to take it outside and lay it on the ground. Hopefully find a spot. Cameraman should have told me to comb my hair. Out in the sky we can aim it at and see what kind of signal we can get. $50 a month. We're supposed to get 100 megs or better down. Most people are getting a lot more than that. Let's see. Oh, that's $50 a month, and you can actually put it on standby. You can go standby or on or standby or on as many times as you want. And no contract. No contract. You can cancel it anytime you want to. If you put it on standby, it's only $5 per month. and they actually leave it working on standby. The standby speed is good enough to do some browsing, email, texting, phone calls, FaceTime, all those kind of things can be done in a standby mode at $5 a month. So we're going to see how it goes. All right, guys, we're going to show you how easy it is to set this thing up out here. I just brought it outside, and I put the router in the ham shack through the windows there. The router setting in the ham shack, and you can see I ran the cable out here on the grass, and we're going to plug this. We're going to plug a Starlink in and aim it, and show you how easy it is to aim. All their connectors. This is like an Ethernet, power over Ethernet. You can see it there. You notice it doesn't have a little tab that you press to release it, and it's waterproof. I had to look up on YouTube, and it says you just push it in and pull it out. I was afraid I'd break it, but it's made just to pull out. You don't have the little tab. In fact, it goes so deep you couldn't reach it. You couldn't reach a tab anyway. So let's see if I can get it in there. All right, I think I got to turn it this way. Yeah. All right, it's all the way in. It's waterproof. Now, the ground looks pretty bad right here. My grass is messed up. This is where I cut the tree down last month. So I have a very big tree here. So let's just aim this dish, show you how easy it is to aim the dish. I'm gonna set the dish up right here. Okay, we've plugged it in, and I brought the Starlink app up on one of the phones here. Let me see if I can bring it here and show you a couple things. This is a Starlink app, and we'll go into it more in a few minutes. But what we're going to do, we're going to line the dish.
Go.
All right, so we just placed the dish on the ground, and we're going to line it now. And I knew about where to aim it. And look, if you look at the app here, it comes with the Starlink. It says the Starlink is misaligned by 6 degrees. So I was pretty accurate in where I aimed it when I laid it down on the phone. I mean, on the ground. Now watch this. There's several things we can do here on the app. And here's one that says alignment. And look at that. Look at this. Look at this right here. So this is a picture of the dish. You can see it down there in the ground. So that looks pretty close to the same, doesn't it? All right. And there's a little box that it has to be put in, and to align it. Now I'm going to go over here and turn the dish, and you watch it how it moves here on the app.
You need to hold it.
On the app, and how you align it for the box. So let's go over here and see if we can. All right, this part of the demo didn't turn out really well. I kept picking the dish up, and it threw it off. But if I had laid it on flat ground, if I rotated that dish, you would actually see it rotate on the app. And the the thing you want to do is get that dish in that little rectangle box, and it's perfectly lined. And you'll see a little bit of that on here. Do it. All right. No, you got to get. Okay, so. Okay. All right. You see the box right here? Look, watch this. Oh, what am I doing here? All right. All right, you can see, if you look, it's not lined up. You see the outline of the box. You can see the dish right there. Now, I'm going to just take my hand, and I'm going to pick this dish up and turn it a little bit. Oh, boy, sensitive. All right. Well, it's not being very, I think I don't see it moving there, but normally it moves and it will align. Let's see. Okay, if you look closely, see the edge of the box? It's a real light line. It's a rectangle box. I'm going to try to turn the dish a little. Well, I don't see it turning. Normally, it would. There, yeah, there it goes. No, there it goes. There it goes. Right. Okay. Now the box came on very bright, highlighted. That means I'm in the box. I'm gonna turn it a little bit more. There we go. So there we go. I got it almost. I got it almost perfect right there. So that's how you align the dish. Typically, it only takes about 5 seconds. I don't know why I had trouble there. We'll go in and do a speed check in a few minutes and see how it's doing. All right, so that's a quick demo of how easy it is to set up and to aim the dish. You just put it in that little rectangle box and it's aimed, man. It'll tell you if you're 1 degree off. So what we can do now, I did a speed check a while ago. It wasn't just great, but again, this gives you the capability to get internet anywhere in the world, and there's a lot of places in the world that don't have internet. So if you can get 38 megs down, that's good in places where that's a whole lot better than 0, I tell you. But during different parts of the day, I'm getting 100 megs down. In about 40 plus up during the day. Now, I don't know what we're going to get now, but let's just see what we get now. So I got to bring the app up. Okay, I'm going to bring the app up. And the neat thing about the Starlink app is, even if my phone is on my home Wi-Fi, if I hit Starlink right here, it's going to connect me. It connected me to the Starlink Wi-Fi. And let's see if I can get it to focus here. Not sure why. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so on the app, there's several things we can do. There's statistics that we can do and see all the different statistics, power usage and so forth, the throughput, even outages, and you can click on these and you can see if there was an outage or whatever. So let's go back. Let's look and see what else we can do. Network. You can actually do a speed test. You can test between your phone and the router, or you can do a speed test from like your phone and the internet. So that's kind of cool. And let's see, subscription. Right now you can see we've got the residential 100 megabit plan. Now the interesting thing about obstructions, and you're not seeing it well here, but you might be able, I don't know if you can see the red right there, a little bit of red right there. That's obstructions. And what they tell you to do, when you're setting this thing up is take your phone, turn the camera on, and just do a 360 of the sky. You just go around like this, do a 360 of the sky, and somehow it gets it in this smart thing that Elon has built, and then you can look at it later here, and you can see the obstructions. So I've clicked on obstructions right here. Red's obstructions, blue is clear. This is out in my front yard. I got a lot of trees, so I had to go in the front yard. But if you look at this, there's a little bit right to the north. There's some red. You can't see it. There's a little bit of red right there. But it's pretty cool. So okay, obstructions, of course, alignment. We've already talked about the alignment, and you can see I'm inside the box right there. So it's aligned. It says your Starlink is pointed in the correct direction. All right, let's do a speed test. All right, I don't know what it's going to be tonight. Probably this is peak period for a lot of people. I'm guessing we're going to get about 38 to 40 instead of the 100 I get during the day. Here we go. Well, you can see there, it looks like we got 100 down. That's kind of what we're paying for. But even if we get 39 down, that's a lot of internet. and we're getting about 20 up. And it looks like we have a latency of about 30 on that one. Let's do it. Now, okay, so...
What happens if you use a third-party speed test, one that's not Starlink, which
well,
might be...
yeah. Let's see. I can probably do it on my phone here. I think I've got speed test on my phone.
Try fast.com through a browser.
Try who?
That's the easiest. Fast.com.
Fast.com. Let me go browser. Let me go fast.com.
Fast.com is Netflix, and so that will tell you how fast your speed is from Netflix.
Let's see. Fast.com. Let me do this. Search for F-A... Man, my fingers are so big. Fast.com. All right, got it. And let's see, go. That's right. I guess there. Check your download speed. We'll do it this way. Here we go.
Well, that's not. Okay.
That's it?
That's not fast.com. They redirected you.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's showing much slower. Of course, depending on where you go and different things. But still, that's better than my my DSL I've got over there.
Yeah. It's just that, remember, never use your own internet provider's speed test.
Yeah,
I can tell you,
sure.
be myself, they're not necessarily going to tell you real world performance.
Yeah.
Let's
see what else we had here. Let me connect back up, and we'll see what else we had here. So speed test, settings, support. And the reason they give you this standby mode where it's still working is you can take the app and you can, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you can take this app and you can say, turn me back on to standard speed. If you turned yourself completely off and you were out in the middle of nowhere, you'd have no way to turn it back on. So that was kind of smart, I think, on their part. So anyway, guys, that's what I have found out about Starlink. And hey, this morning I was actually watching the news on the TV, and my TV was giving me all kinds of trouble. I couldn't get any channel or anything on it, and I said, I bet the internet's down. And my cable company had gone down, and I just flipped my TV over to Wi-Fi on Starlink, and man, popped right in. You know, perfect looking picture. I'm kind of impressed with it, to tell you the truth. I don't really need it, but I've got it, and I think I'm going to keep it. After I test it in North Carolina, I'll probably just keep mine here on a standby mode and let it run. So, any thoughts, Brett?
Well, again, I can tell you, because I am in the business, that Elon Musk is losing money big time on you. So take advantage of the billionaire's generosity. It's really not generosity. He's trying to build market share while you can. They are eventually, if they're going to make money, eventually going to have to raise the rates. So get in while you can. And then eventually you may find that a competitor is a better value for what you get.
Yeah. Well, it definitely can serve a purpose, so I think it's kind of neat. But we're getting so many satellites up there now, I don't know how in the world they're going to get through all that mess to get up to the space station. I don't know. Maybe they got the space station flying below them. I don't know, man. Well,
not only that, but their competitors are starting to launch, and that's going to make things even more crowded up there.
Well, Amazon's going to put up the same thing that Elon's got here. It's called LEO, L-E-O, for low, L-E, low Earth orbit.
Yep, they are.
So, and I think he may already have a few satellites up. I don't know.
Yeah.
What is that? What am I looking at?
Well, those are my fast.com results from where I am right now.
Oh, yeah, okay. I got you. Yeah. I got so much stuff running here, I couldn't tell where it's coming from. All right, hey guys, Hambot's coming up in a minute. Let's see. Let me put this back on. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you want to be eligible to win the prize, you've got to be in the W5KUB.com chat room. The way you get in that chat room, just go to W5KUB.com, and the page will come up, and you'll see the chat room on the right side. All you gotta do is type your call in there for your name and hit connect or go or whatever the word is, and you'll join the chat room. So Hambot will be picking a person here in just a few minutes. All right, so let's stand by a second, and we will be right back. Stick around. Any ham radio conversation, and Icom is bound to come up. The reason's pretty straightforward. Solid state receivers, clear audio, and a layout that feels natural the second that you start operating. These radios are made for real on-the-air time, whether the bands are calm, crowded, or somewhat in between. The new IC7300 Mark II builds upon everything operators loved about the original IC7300, elevating it to a sharper, cleaner, and more capable HF experience. Its improved RMDR, lower phase noise, enhanced cooling, and expanded I/O options make it a next level performer for serious operators who want crystal clear reception, rock solid transmit quality, and a modern convenience. Built for satellite, EME, and weak signal enthusiasts, the IC9700 continues an all-mode operation on VHF, UHF, and 1.2 gigs with SDR precision. Its real-time dual-band scope, full duplex capability, and high-power output make it the ultimate transceiver for operators pushing the limits above 50 megahertz. For more information about Icom's amateur radios, please visit icomamerica.com/amateur. All right, I'm just reading the chat room here. Bill, WB8ELK, $50 a month there. You paid for the equipment, $299. Bill, the plan I'm telling you now, it's been introduced, and what I signed up for, $50 a month, free equipment, and unlimited data. Unlimited data. You're capped at 100 megabits per second, but it's unlimited data. So, it's and no contract. So it's a big, it's quite a significant difference between your $50 plan and the one I got. But man, they're throwing plans out there every day. It looks like they're changing their their website there. All right.
Yep. They on X.com they are advertising a $39 special, but you may not get your equipment free. I think they're trying all sorts of combinations of things to see what they can do to attract the most possible customers. They're also advertising. They're claiming reliability numbers. They put up a claim that they are 99.9% reliable. So 3 nines. There's only one issue with that, which if you figure it out, if you do the arithmetic, 99.9% reliability means that you're out about between 9 and 10 hours a month. So it's actually not as good a claim as it looks like at first glance, but that's what they're claiming.
9 or 10 hours a month. Oh, gee, man. Well, maybe that we'll have an outage while I'm in bed, sleep. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, and Bill, I don't know. One of these plans, you get a free mini. You can get a free mini. I don't know, man. Heck. Okay. Let's see what we're gonna get to next here. I think Hambot's fixing to come up in a minute. Let's see.
Yeah, I see in the chat that Bill is saying that he has dropouts on Starlink, but they're not for too long. It's when the next train of satellites comes overhead. Also, if you don't have a full sky view, then sometimes you will, if you're say in a valley, after the group of satellites passes over, you may lose either bandwidth or connectivity for a while.
Yeah.
There,
Well, I've got
'cause-
I've got a bunch of trees all over the place, man, and yeah, I found it out in the front. It was the best place for me to
yeah.
sit it. Yeah. Okay, I'm still reading the chat here. Okay. All right. Well, I wonder. I guess we ought to go ahead and maybe try to get Hambot working before we go into our next segment here. Is everybody ready to try to win a Grundig? You know, Grundig's a pretty good, well-known brand name. They've made a lot of shortwave radios. But this is a Grundig Mini shortwave radio. All right, let's see if we can figure this thing out here. And okay, let me give you guys the instructions. Here's how Hambot works. And we used to use Hambot at Hamfest. Nearly every Hamfest we would give away $4,000 or $5,000 worth of prizes, and we used Hambot to pick the names, and it was a lot of fun. Here's what you got to do. Hambot is going to run, and he's going to pick a name, and he's going to tell everybody, please don't type. You know, just so we can see if a winner types. Now, can you imagine at like Dayton where you got 1,000 people in a chat room? It's moving like 100 miles an hour. If somebody said yes, I'm here, we'd never see it because the chat room was moving so fast. But Hambot sees it. I don't care if it's moving, you know, at the speed of sound. Hambot still sees if you say I'm here. Now, so Hambot's going to pick a name. He's going to give you a 60-second countdown to claim the prize. And all you got to do is just let Hambot know you're here. You can hit a period. You can hit a X. You can say, I'm here. Anything that you enter, Hambot will know that's you. So if you claim it within the time frame, Hambot will know that you did it, and the prize is yours. So let's get ready. Let's get ready for Hambot and see if we can give away a prize here. All right, so stand by. All right, we're not going by my voice. My voice is going to be delayed about 20 or 30 seconds. We go by Hambot only. Pay attention to Hambot. Hambot's looking for AK0A. I don't think he's going to be here. If he's not here, Hambot will pick another name. I have a feeling somebody is going to win tonight.
AK0A is a lingering operator.
He's a what?
He's an operator of the channel.
Oh, yeah. And we, Hambot is set up. We gave operators the chance to win because they do a lot of work and don't get any pay. So occasionally an operator would win. Okay. All right. So he didn't do it. So looks like we're looking for a WB4LVA. I don't know why ELK thinks he won. I guess he's testing. WB4LVA, is he here? Was he in here a while ago? There he is. He said he's there.
Server says he's there.
Hambot saw him. He says he was there, and let's see what he said there. So he won, and I'm all excited here, man. Let me get the right mouse here. I want to read. Okay, so there he is. He was in the 45 seconds left. He's WB4LVA says he's here. He won the Grundig shortwave receiver, super compact AM/FM shortwave travel radio, new in package, valued at around $50, and is donated by us. Congratulations to WB4LVA. Let me write that down. WB4LVA. Let me ask you this, LVA, are you good in QRZ? Are you good in QRZ for a mailing address so we can mail it to you? Please let me know. If not, we're going to need to find you. Occasionally, I'd run into somebody that would win that had no address, and I had to run him down like a detective on the internet. I found him at some radio station out west. No address and no nothing. Let's see. All right. W4LVA. Are you good in QRZ? Has he answered? Let me see. He may have answered me. I need to scroll. Yeah, I need to scroll. Thank you. Yes, he's good. Okay. All right, W4LVA, we'll get that shipped to you. I'm not a shipper. My shipper's not here right now. But we'll probably get it shipped out Thursday night or Friday morning to you. And you should have it in a couple days. You should have it sometime next week. So thank you very much for tuning in tonight and being a winner of the shortwave radio from Grundig. Man. All right. So, Brett, wasn't that exciting?
Well, that's Hambot for you. A lot of fun.
Yeah. And just remember, All right, guys. Well, are we having fun?
Still needs oil.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
He
still needs oil.
Yeah, the coating's kicking in. I tell you right now, man. The coating's kicking in.
Whoa.
All right. What am I supposed to say next? Okay.
Let's see. You were going to show off antennas. And, what else?
All right. So, guys, antennas are easy to build. They're fun to build. When I started out over 60 years ago, we didn't even have things like a SWR meter. We didn't have VNAs. We didn't have any of those things. We just cut it like the handbook said, stuck it up, ran the coax in the house, and operated. One reason is our radios had a very wide, broad range of tuning the antenna. It was a Pi network, and it usually matched much higher impedances. So that's how we got by. Or we may have just tuned up with a light bulb, a 100-watt light bulb. We get that thing full brightness, get the light bulb at full brightness, and then put the antenna on there, and that's how we tuned the rig up. And that was standard procedure back then and before. How many in the chat room have used a light bulb to tune for maximum power? I bet you somebody in here. I bet you Ron did it. All right, so and Brett did it. Okay.
I have a light bulb dummy load.
Okay, I hope you used a 50 ohm. I hope you used a 50 ohm light bulb.
Oh, well, that's the thing about light bulbs. The impedance changes as they heat up.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, that's the way we did it. That's the way we did it back then. And guess what, man? We were ham radio operators, and we talked. But so over the years, as we got older, and technology changed, we were able to get some things that would help us to do antennas. For instance, I think MFJ was one of the first ones to come out with some type of antenna analyzer. This is one of theirs. I had a couple of different models of theirs, and this was the go-to analyzer for many hams back years ago.
That is the exact one that I have.
Oh, is it? All right.
Yes. The C. They
yeah,
came out with
on yours, the display, can you see all the way through on the display?
Yep, it's green screened.
Yeah. All right. So,
Yes.
so that was that was one, and then, years later, boy, this feels like a brick. It is heavy. This is a Comet CAA 500. We used to give a bunch of these out on the show, like when we would do Hamfest and Huntsville. This was a great prize that we would give out, and this goes up in the to 500 megahertz right here. It's a neat little thing. It does have a graphic down here. It's pretty small. I've never used the graphic on here. The graph of the plot. Never really used it. All right, so a while back, a year or two ago, I bought me a VNA, and I thought this is a toy. Look at this little thing. They were like $30, $40. There's been 100,000 different models of it coming out. Let me tell you. So if you want to buy a certain one, be careful. Don't just order a VNA. There's a million of them out there. So I got me one, and I couldn't get past step 3. Take your stylus here, and then click here, and then they're saying click here. I don't have that, and I pulled that thing again out this past week. Pulled up 3 or 4 different internet showing how to use it. I even had a different menu. Things they were telling me to click on, it wasn't even on there. And also my my touchscreen and a little button that you press, it didn't seem very responsive on it. I'd touch it and I'd touch it and I'd touch it. It wouldn't do anything. And I'd touch it somewhere else on the screen. It kind of worked. And I never got past step 3 with it. So I thought, well, maybe the VNA has just got a bad touchscreen. So I ordered me a new one. And it cost more than the one I was trying to play with. I think the one I was trying to play with, I bought it years ago, and it was probably maybe a $40 one. I don't know, but so I ordered me a new one, and this is a Nano VNA-F version 2. Oh gee, but the interesting thing is, it's in a metal box, not plastic like the others. It's in a metal box, and it looks pretty heavy, and it's got buttons that function real good, up, down, and select. And the touchscreen works pretty good. And with it, you got several different cables. You've got several cables with your SNA connectors, and you got your calibrate, your open, your short, and your 50 ohm calibrate. Here's one for, I can put on antennas, and I got various different connectors with it. Let me turn it on here. I was actually able to make this one work. Now I'm not going for all the Smith chart stuff on here. I'm not going for that. As I showed you earlier, I studied electronics and ham radio in those books 60 years ago. They didn't have anything like this in there. All right, so
okay, that's an SWR meter.
What was that?
If it's said to be an SWR meter.
Yeah, I've configured it as SWR. So so the interesting thing is I can kind of work this now. I turned off the other screens except the SWR. I left SWR on. But it turned out pretty simple after I started working it. And this one, I could follow it. So if I touch the screen here, and here's display, and here's trace. I turned off, if you know, you can't really see that. Let's see why we can't see that. This is not going to be real good. Yeah, there they are. Well, if you notice, you got different traces here. I've turned off trace 1, 2, and 3, and I left trace 0 on. And that gives me just one line out here to use. And I'm not complicating this by having all the different traces on top of each other. looking like a, I don't know what it would look like. So I've got trace 0 turned on, and that's going to be SWR up here. That's on S11, and I'm gonna hit back, and boy, I wish you could see that. I don't know if, I guess I don't think I can adjust it, but anyway, format. I just select right here SWR, and then I go back, and then scale. I can change the scale here. I'm gonna put 0.25. Wait a minute. And scale. Yeah. Well, I just put 2.5 in there. That gives me my scale over here on the side. And then I'm not doing very good. I've got S11 selected. That's going to be my input right up here, and it says S11. And the yellow line is SWR. I'm going to go back. Stimulus is where you put the stimulus would be where you put your frequency range you want to measure. So let's do something. Let's put a start. Let's just put a start at, let's say 6 megahertz, and then let's put a stop at 30 megahertz. All right. So right now I'm looking at SWR. That's going to be the yellow line, and we're looking at a range of 6 to 30 megahertz. Now I want to talk to you about some antennas tonight, and I was going to just do a measurement on them here with this. Let me hook. I'm going to hook up my Delta Loop. Let's talk Delta Loop for a minute. I'm going to hook Delta Loop here. Look at there. All right. So there's the SWR on my Delta Loop. Now I'm gonna bring the little marker down to the SWR point, at each of these. And I've already calibrated this and saved the calibration earlier. You can save those calibrations. So let's see. Let me see how I can do this. Oh, wrong one. All right. You might can see the little dot right here. I'm going to move it down to the bottom right there. That tells me.
Yes. Right,
what was that?
40 meters.
What was that?
You're right in the middle of 40 meters.
Yeah,
that's good.
See. Let's see, Brett. So this is my Delta Loop. So the point there is resonant is at, if you read it up here, SWR, it's at one. Let's see the frequency. The frequency right there is 7,200. That's where we are right now. It's 7,200 right there. We got a 1.17 SWR. Now I'm gonna move the little marker down to the next band right here, and let's see what it says. Oh, wrong way. So you can see I'm moving the marker here. It's going up, and come on around. Go down to the next band, and okay, we're at, well, that says 13,920. Let me go up a little higher into the ham band. So there's 14,160. It's not quite on the bottom, but it's close. So at 14,160, you can see my SWR is 1.2 right there at 14,160. Let's go down to, that was 40, 20. Let's go to, what's this going to be, 15 maybe? I don't know. We're going to go down here and see. Okay, 21, we're at 21,120. That's in the 15 meter band. SWR is 1.37, so that's really good. And if we go on over and we look at 10 meters, we look at 10 meters, 28 through 20, SWR is 1.1. So that shows you right there that that is a pretty good multi-band antenna. So that's a multi-band antenna. You saw the SWR was really good on most, well, on all the frequencies. So I'm going to talk a little about different antennas here real quick, and Brett's going to help me if I can get this going here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. All right. So what we're looking at right there, what we just looked at was my delta loop, and a delta loop is very easy to build. It's just a full wave piece of wire, and I built mine for 40. I used to have an 80 up, but that's pretty long. So delta loop basically is just a full wave piece of wire like this, and I hung it up in a tree out there vertically. And
Do you have the long edge on the top or on the bottom?
well, I thought that all three sides were the same length, but I know they're not now, and I'll get into that in just a minute and tell you why. And then we have a ballon right here at the bottom, a ballon. So I've got a 4-to-1 ballon here, and then LMR 400 comes into the shack. Now, everybody wants to buy LMR 400. I didn't buy LMR 400. I think at HF frequencies, you don't need LMR 400. But everybody, all the new people think this is the best and this is what I got to have. And, I don't think it's going to make a real big difference. The problem I had, the reason I'm using LMR 400, at work we put in a satellite system, and we had an extra 500-foot roll of LMR 400 that we weren't going to use, so I'm using it. So
That's
I
a
didn't
great
pay
deal.
for it. What was that?
I said that's a great deal.
Yeah.
I used LMR 400 equivalent for my delta loop, which is a
If you're
little
up
different.
in the VHF, if you're up in VHF, do it. I see people all the time on these Facebook groups talking about their mobile rig, their 2-meter rig. They put LMR 400 in the car. I don't know. I'd say, guys, that's not doing you much good. Plus, it probably is a bigger issue of getting the cable into the car. So anyway, this is it. Now, a loop or a delta loop, it should have an impedance. Of about 100 to 110 ohms. It should have. So if you've got a 50 ohm here, if you got 100 ohm to 50 ohm, that's a 2-to-1. You should use a 2-to-1 ballad, right? That would give you almost a perfect. But I tried that. I had one made at Ballon Designs. I tried it in my SWR. It just went high. A 2-to-1 wouldn't work on this. I put my 4-to-1 back in, and it was great. You saw how it tuned up. Now, what I did was, you see this point, I had a rope. That's a rope right there that goes and ties this off. And what I did, Brett, I tied a rope right here and pulled it up. So my loop is like this now. My loop is more like that now because I pull that up high. Now, it may not be exactly a square diamond, but I did pull it up. All right. Now, but guess what I found? And I didn't even think about this. I knew about it, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. But look what I found here. When you get, look at here, a 200 ohm diamond loop. And look, when you pull this piece up, look what the impedance goes to. Now your 200 to 50 is going to be a 4-to-1 ballon, and that matches it perfect. that was the secret that I was avoiding even thinking or listening to, or comparing it to. But and also when you pull it up like that, you make this loop much broader in bandwidth. Now, a lot of people say, okay, you got your loop antenna. You need to match it with a quarter wave. You need to match it with a quarter wave. A quarter wave matching piece of like 75 ohm, and then at this point, then you can go 50 ohm. The problem if you do that, if you match it with a piece of coax, the problem if you do that is you're making that a single band antenna. For whatever band you cut that for, you're making it resonate on a single band. Here on mine, you see how it looks, and that is one of the best antennas I've ever had. I mean, now the reason I like that is I like to run sometimes high power, maybe 800,000 watts, and I think a resonant antenna is the best antenna to have. You don't have to try to match it, tune it, do anything like that. If it had a high SWR, I couldn't run the amp because my amp goes to standby. If anything is over 2 to 1, my amp will shut down to standby. So you could put a tuner out there, but let me tell you, a kilowatt remote tuner is going to cost you anywhere from $700 to over $1,000 for a tuner, for a high power tuner. So look,
unless you get lucky and get a deal.
Yeah. So
yes. At Dayton last year, I got one for $400.
Yeah. So that loop is probably the 40 meter delta. I don't know if it's a delta anymore. Maybe it's a diamond. I don't know. But the loop antenna is it's a killer, man. I compare it to all the other antennas. It always performs equally or better. No matching needed. Coax straight out there, and it's resonant right on every band. Now you may have to trim the length of it a little bit to get it resonant. I'd put it on, and this is 40 through 10. Actually, it's 40 through 6. It looks the same on 6 meters. It will work on 6 meters. So that was my antenna that I wanted to show you tonight. That was the full wave loop. All right, now another antenna I like to use, and I like to have different antennas to compare, because some antennas have lobes certain directions where other antennas have lobes the other direction. And if you're trying to work to a guy where you don't have a lobe, you're going to have a weak signal. So anyway, I like to have various antennas to try. I got all my antennas on a switch, and they're all resonant. And that switch, I can just flip that switch from the T2LT to 40 meter loop to fan dipole and so forth. Now, I do have one antenna that I use a lot, and it's actually a 40 meter double extended double zepp. All right, so 40 meter double extended zepp. And what it is it's like a doublet. There's one leg right there, and there's the other leg right there, and each leg is 5/8 wavelength.
Mm-hmm.
Each leg is 5/8 wavelength. Here I feed it with open line, and I'm up about 90 foot right there. And then here's where I put what I mentioned when I go to the high price. I put an MFJ 1.5 kW tuner, auto tuner at the antenna. And then then I come from here and I just go 50 ohm That's the LMR 400 again. And that's only because I had LMR 400 to run out there. All right. Now this is, let's see. What's 5/8? Let's see. This is 100 and this antenna from here to here is 172 feet. So my lot is not quite that wide. I think I dropped this in. I dropped that in probably 10 or 15 feet on each end like that. So it probably affects it a little bit. But I got the tuner and it still works good. It's up high. It's 90 feet. It's a extended double zep. It's a doublet basically. And with that tuner, you can put it on any band you want. I mean, this thing will tune fine on any band with that tuner. Now, without the tuner, you could actually trim this 172-foot antenna to make it resonant on 40 meters, but it would be a single band. So I like to use it on. I like to be able to use it on any band. So this is my only antenna that I have a tuner. It would be unaffordable to have a $1,000 tuner on every different antenna. So this is the only antenna that I have a tuner on right there. This antenna actually is the only wire antenna that has gain, and I had some stats on it here somewhere. I had some stats on it, and let's see. The typical gain is in the order of 2.5 to 3 dBd, as shown in Figure 4. So that antenna does have gain off to the broad side. Now you start trying to make it work on different bands. You're not going to have the same lobes. It's going to change the way the lobes look. But the antenna does have gain. It's up high. It's long. It's big, and that's mainly the antenna I like to use, or I like to use the 40-meter double zep. Now I would put that on the analyzer here, but you're not gonna see it because I have to tune it with the auto tuner out there for each band I want to work. So I could actually make it resonant on each band using that tuner, but there's no need of doing that.
Yeah. What does the rig say your SWR is when it's in tune?
What does my rig say?
Yeah. What does it say your SWR is? Does the tuner get it down to nearly 1:1?
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. Now another antenna, and I built, and I was having fun with it. I had a little difficult building it, and we featured it on a show one night. It was the I call it a coaxial vertical. It's called a T2LT for tuned transmission line trap, and basically that's let me get this thing to focus. There we go. Oop, didn't focus. All right, basically that's a vertical piece, halfway vertical, which is, I'm just going to draw it here. We got the top quarter wave, 1/4 wave, and then here's the coax right there, and that's a 1/4 wave. And then we got, and in here the coax changes into like a choke. I got like a 2-inch form and about, I don't know, maybe 10 turns of coax here, and then it just goes straight. It goes straight to the rig. This is all 50 ohm coax to the rig, and so instead of wasting coax and cutting the shield and everything off that top quarter, because that well, if you tried one for 40, that would be about 33 feet. 20 meters would be about 16, 17 feet right there. So just take a piece of coax and just solder you a wire right here on the top. You don't have to trim the shield off or anything. Just measure your 1/4 wave right here, and add you a quarter wave wire right here, and you can put your little loop right here, and then you can take a rope and pull that up to a tree limb real high. Now, this choke right here seemed kind of critical. That was giving me my problems. And you got to have this choke associated right at the quarter wave spot there. You can't have it, a foot lower or a foot higher. You got to have it right there where you've got a quarter wave and a quarter wave. And then the number of turns on this does actually affect the SWR. So you have to experiment with that a little, and the height above ground, the height above ground. The height above ground also affects the SWR greatly. So I'm gonna flip the switch over there, and we're gonna go to the T2 LT antenna, and let's see how resonant it is, because I like resonant antennas. So here we go. All right, I think I got it on now. Let's see. Well, this changed. See, when I
even for 40 meters, this could be a really big antenna.
Yeah,
so
40
what
meters is going to be 60 something feet. Now I can get that up out here, but the choke's going to be pretty low toward the ground. But okay, I just flipped the switch here, and this is my coaxial vertical. Let's see what it says. The frequency. I haven't really played with this much, so let me put the little yellow dot down here. Let me just work it down. Let's see how it looks. Where am I? I'm getting there. There we go.
You're getting into the 20 meter band.
Now it's showing right now. Well, and I built this for 20 meters. Right now there's 13,920. Let me go to the ham band. Let's see. Ooh, whoa.
What?
No, I'm going the wrong way. I've got to get there.
Very sensitive dial. There you go.
Yeah.
You're getting it.
Let me get down. 14.8, 6, 14.4, 14.160.
Ooh, there you are. Now you're in the band.
That's pretty good. It's not quite down there yet, but we're at 14.160. And you can see that antenna is actually tuned for 1.19 SWR. So
that's pretty good.
That's tuned. It's really good out there. I can run power into it without having to worry about any tuning or anything. All right. So now that of course would have a lower angle of radiation. So on your the horizon here, there's your antenna right there. It's going to have a much lower angle of radiation instead of something high like it. So I'm hoping it'll work out better for DX antenna. So that's one reason I wanted to play with that, to have a vertical, to have some horizontal antennas, have a vertical antenna, and so forth. Now I've never really had any antennas up for like 17 and 12 meters.
Mm-hmm.
So 17 and 12, I thought, while I'm out here doing this, let's just put an antenna up for 17 and 12. So I said, okay, let's just go simple. It's up pretty high. Let's do a fan dipole. Now, we've done an article, we've done a segment on fan dipole here before. Fan dipole is a good antenna. You can usually get 3 bands pretty easy. The 4th band's a little difficult, and if you're going for 5 bands, you're going to be I don't know. You're going to have some good luck because they really interact with each other, and it's getting tough. I shared an article of Stanford University that studied and built the fan dipoles, and they they identified that it was very, very difficult to get like 5 bands out of one. It was just so difficult tuning. It really wasn't worth it. Now I know a lot of people are probably getting 5 bands out, but what they said, what Stanford said was, at the feed point, you need to keep these wires separated by 18 degrees, and that was at the feed point. So you know, and it looks funny to me, but you know, so there's the 17 meter, and that's the 12 meter. So what they're saying is you need to keep this 18 inches apart. Now, if you keep these feed points 18 inches apart, then you can get easier matching. And you've probably seen on the internet people take PVC, you know, PVC pipe and we'll put eye bolts in it like this. And some of these things are really long, you know, and it would run the antennas like this. I built one like that, and inside these were separated. I separated them maybe 6 or 8 inches, and inside there, you know, where these eye bolts were, I used plumber strap. And that's, you know what plumber strap is. It's like what you hang pipes and stuff with. It's just a strap like this. It's got holes in it, and
Yes.
I put that inside the PVC, and you know you got to fish the nuts and stuff in there. But anyway, so let's look at my 17 and 12. So I've got a 17 meter. I've got a 12 meter. I've got a 1-to-1 here, and just again 50 ohm. Going into the rig, and does that get on there? Yeah. And I tuned the legs; they tune really good. Let's see if I can show you. I'm gonna flip the antenna switch over there to the 17 and 12 meters. So you're gonna see this change. Let me go flip it.
It did change.
Right. What was that?
It did change a lot.
Well, you saw it move here. Let's see. Let's look at 17 meters. So let's move our little dot or our little thing here. Coming down. All right. So that's at 18,240. So that's 17 meters. 18,240, and you can see the SWR showing here. All right, we're at 18,240, and we're at 1.28. If you can see that, yeah, right there. Let's see what the 17. Let's see what the 12 meters. It looks like about the same. It's over here. So let's run our marker over there. Let's see what it came up at. Okay, it came up at 24,960. What's the band? I don't remember. The band's a little lower than that, I think. Anyway,
It's. I'm going to consult my chart to make sure I get it right too.
yeah.
Okay.
What's the
Yeah.
middle of the band? What's
Let's
the middle?
see,
What's the middle of the voice band?
Okay, this search didn't work. I was searching for the official ARL chart. Okay, here we are, 12 meters. Middle of the band is about 24.9, about 980.
950 or something like that.
Yeah,
Okay, well, that's not too far off.
maybe 960.
Well, I'm at okay. Right now we're at 24,960.
Yep, you're right in the middle.
Yeah, 24,960, and you can see the markers there, and we're showing a 1.3. So, it tuned really well. I've got an antenna, a resonant antenna, that I can use on 12 and 17. Now, if I wanted, I don't have an antenna up for 15, and if I wanted to work 15, I could use that extended double zip and use that tuner, and that would it would tune up in 15. So I just wanted to show you tonight the antennas that I use. 40 meter double zip. Try to get this in a picture here. 40 meter double zip. And 17, 12 meter fan dipole. I use I'll call it delta loop. The delta loop, and then the other one is the coaxial vertical, or the T2LT. So that's the antennas I'm using, and you can see they're all pretty much resonant except the one I use the tuner for. So I can work all bands. I have fun doing the antennas. Now I think, and what I'm doing, I'm going through a couple different antenna switches here in the shack, and I've got a couple open positions. When it gets springtime, I may go out there and throw up another antenna or two, and I can add it on my switch here. And of course, by putting one of the remote switches outside, you don't need as much coax. So I've got 4 runs of LMR 400 going out there, and I've got antenna switching here for about 7 or 8 positions. In addition to my LMR 400 I got going out there, I ran two runs of Cat 5 cable out there, which I use to basically control things. For instance, if I want to control an antenna switch that I made or something, I can power it. Things like that. It just gives me a means of getting 12 volts out there. And I could do it through a bias T. We've done those before too.
Yep.
Well,
do you use bias T for the tuner?
What was that?
Do you use a bias T for the big tuner?
I do have the bias T on the big tuner, but I've got a separate bias T we built for the show. If you remember, I could put that on one of the other coax runs, and I could actually have a second bias T going out there. Anyway, that's kind of what we did and what we've done. And guys, I'm going to the Russellville Hamfest. We're going to close down the show here in a minute. I'm going to go to Russellville Hamfest. Let's see what we got here on Russellville. I should have something right here. Yeah. Arkansas Valley Hamfest, March the 7th. It's going to be over at Dardanelle, Arkansas. That's just that's across the river from Russellville, Arkansas. That's over in northwest Arkansas. And I always enjoyed going back over there. That's my home away from home. That's where I went to college at Arkansas Tech. I was over there 3 years before I had to take a break and go visit Uncle Sam in the 60s, the late 60s. And so, man, I've gone back over there, last year or two, and you won't recognize the college. It's like all new buildings, majorly big stuff. The campus has exploded. I couldn't even find my way across the campus with a GPS almost. It was something. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna have fun over there. I hear it's gonna be raining, but it's gonna be inside, so that's good. I am going to have a table this week there. I haven't had a table where I sold stuff in a long time. I don't need to. I don't know why I'm doing this, but Kathy wants me to start cleaning out the attic. She don't want to be the one to have to clean it out, she said. So I'm taking some stuff over there, and we'll get that cleaned out. And let's see, Brent's got a ham fest there. Ham Radio Flea Market, Longmont Amateur Radio Club. LARC Fest 2026. Where is that? That is.
Yes, that is in Longmont, Colorado, on the Boulder Highway on the way to Boulder, Colorado, and it's this is a very big and popular one, um, and I will probably have a table there. It's Saturday starts at 9 in the morning. They will have they're going to have a fox hunt, so they'll have some activities there. They'll have testing there, and they have a lot of door prizes, and they have good door prizes.
That's
They also
good.
usually have a very good flea market, so I recommend it.
Yeah. They're gonna have a fox hunt at Russellville. I thought about building me a little thing. Taking a coffee can, putting a little pickup inside. That way to give me some directivity. And then I've got a little tiny spectrum analyzer. It's built like this nano VNA, and putting that spectrum analyzer on there and putting it on frequency, and you'll actually see the beep, the blip, and you can aim at can certain ways, and you might be able to see the signal go up and down. So I don't know if I'll do that or not, but might be something to play with.
I'd help you with it.
Yeah, but it may be raining too. I don't know. All right. So again, hey SWR, I want to shout out to SWR magazine, and guys, they're going to start promoting our show in SWR magazine. This is a great magazine. It's free. Search for SWR magazine. Look at the color. Look at the quality of this. This is like a QST, but it's free, guys. It's free. And hey, FT2. FT2 is something new. They got an article in here about FT2, Hamcation. They're going to review Hamcation there. Look at all the stuff they've got. They've got projects to build. They've got reviews of stuff. They've got all kinds of stuff in here. So, I forgot to mention Rig Expert a while ago. Those are some very, very high-cost antenna analyzers. Those things go anywhere from $400, $500, and if you wanted to go up in megahertz, you got to pay maybe $600 or something. I mean, man, they're just up there, but they're good. But you know what? I've got a different impression of the Nano VNA here, since I learned to at least get the SWR scale in there and see it. I kind of like it, so I think it's going to be good. And guys, you can get you a nice.
Yep.
A nice piece of equipment there. I think
Yeah.
you shop around, you can find you something for under $100.
Yes. Yes. As for Rig Expert, are they still producing product? They're Ukrainian, and as I understand it, they were hit by a missile.
Yeah, I don't know. I did hear that they did get hit and blown up. I would think they're still doing it. And another guy that a lot of things come out of the Ukraine. Genevieve, I think that's his name. I don't remember his call right now. I ordered QSL cards from him, and I got 1,000. He's in Ukraine. I got 1,000 full color, two-sided QSL cards for I think about $60. And that included postage back to the United States. $60. And here in the United States, you spend $60 on QSL cards, you're going to get maybe 100 cards. You ought to check him out, man. I don't know if he's still doing it or not, but they're beautiful cards. All right, we've gone over a little bit. Thanks, everybody. Let's see. Let me look at the chat room real quick. See if there's anything going on there. Okay. Okay, Cave City. Hey, Colin, good to see you, Colin. You weren't too late, and man, appreciate you joining us tonight.
There are a few people talking about antennas in the chat.
Are they? Okay. Well, I hope it was interesting tonight. And We hope to see you in 2 weeks. So this is our first night of bi-weekly on Wednesdays. I think you went okay. Was that what are you looking at the X right there, Brett? Is that the X?
I'm looking at the IRC chat, but you are transmitting to X perfectly well.
Wait a minute.
X is here.
Pull that chat screen back up you had up. Pull it.
The chat screen?
Yeah, the one you had up.
Oh, I don't have a chat screen up. I do have I had the Hamfest up.
Oh, I saw it. Looked like a chat screen. I didn't know if you were monitoring X or not.
Oh, I am monitoring X in another window on my computer, and I am monitoring the chat on an iPhone.
Okay. Was there anybody in the? Did anybody at all comment in the X chat room?
So here is the. I don't know. I can go look.
Well, that's okay.
Let's
okay.
see.
It's just hard to keep up and know with, what we've got here, And I noticed as soon as I killed Twitch TV, everything cleared up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see much going on in the way of chat on X, but I do see our video. It's running.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right, guys. We're gonna say good night to everybody. Glad you're with us. 73 to you. We'll see you later.
It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Tom W5 KUB keeps the stream alive. With hams worldwide, we're feeling the vibe. With Glenn KW5GP breaking it down. Building gear and wearing that crown. And Brett WY7BG shouting clear. Coming in strong from here, DD. Oh, and Mark P. Yeah, he's part of the light. So tune in every Tuesday night. It's more than mics and modulation. It's heart and soul in every station. From kits and code to satellites, we learn, we laugh, we share the nights. So grab your rig, grab your crew, it's always something cool and new. No matter.
All right, guys. Good night to everybody. We'll see you.